Hello everyone and welcome to the NSE UK Splatoon League. It is the first week of the bracket stage. There's this week and then it closes out next week. Next week will be the final week. But I am here, this is Conroe, I am here with Pat for the whole cast tonight. So welcome in, Pat. How are you doing?
I am doing great, and we are now at the top tier of this NSE, the best teams that have gone through the Swiss time and are now in the bracket ready to fight for this crown, the crown of this season, Conroe. And I mean, we've had a lot of NSE season, and each time they bring the hype, they give us wonderful teams ready to fight. And I mean, with Tentacle, Nuke, and Jorvink, I guess we're gonna have a good start.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the winners quarterfinal. There was a big Swiss stage for the first 3 weeks of this competition. There were roughly 30 teams. I'm not sure on the exact number, but the top 8 are playing in the Division 1 bracket, and the next 8 after that are in Division 2. For the whole stream will be Division 1, so this is the top cut, essentially, the top 8 of the tournament. And these two teams finished 4th and 5th in the Swiss stage. So on paper, at least, this should be the closest of the winners quarterfinals between Jorvink Ducklings and Tentacle Nuke Inkbound. And interestingly, they didn't play each other in the Swiss stage. Each team plays 9 matches, and they never played against each other. So this is a brand new matchup for these two.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, they are similar seeds. They have we can expect a similar level, and this is the moment for these two teams to show who got who is going to go further in the season. Like they had pretty similar times in Swiss, despite not meeting each other. They had pretty much the similar results. Now the big question is which one is gonna come out on top. And we're gonna start, as always, with best of 3 of Turf Wars. And for a change, Conroe, we're gonna start with Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, we are. We're very used to seeing Mahi Mahi Resort as stage 1 for Turf War. Basically, the home team, as in the first team on the left, they choose the first map that we see, and then every single map after is counter pick. So whoever loses picks the next map. But yeah, Inkblot Art Academy for this one, I'm assuming it's Tentacle Nuke Inkbound that chose that, and they're going with a pretty standard kind of Turf War comp. They do bring out the reflux with missiles. That's Mr. Egg on that with plenty of special charge, so there'll be a lot of missiles coming out. Green on the wiper, and they're going in pretty quickly, just wanting to attack that plat straight away. No early picks, both teams just trying to build specials. The missiles actually forced Yoshi to jump all the way back to spawn, but they almost have their inkjet online, but I think both teams at the moment, Pat, just going for pain.
Yeah, right now, Jorvink is kind of forced to wait on their side, as Tentacle Nuke has taken a lot of control, but it's the specials that are going to decide a lot. A lot of specials are ready and being thrown right now. The rain to the side to really slow things down. Jorvink very patient right now, really waiting for the opportunity, only getting trades so far, simply surviving on their platform. And more trains coming in, Conroe. Like Jorvink very much forced to wait. The Dodler and the Jetpack are going to allow them to take back control into mid.
Yeah, Yoshi's Jetpack doing a bit of work there, and Jorvink just about in control for now. It's been quite a, I wouldn't say hesitant, but quite a careful approach from both these teams. We haven't seen that many picks, and we're like pretty much halfway through the game, but there's a couple of big ones on the side of Tentacle Nuke Inkbound, so they have a big chance to come back into mid. They have a lot of paint on their side with the reflux and the Naught and the wiper just providing so much paint for their team, and it is Turf War, so ultimately that is what it's all about, as long as you get the picks and move in. Jorvink able to regroup at least on the plats, on their plat, so they might be able to get something going here. That Ink Storm might separate them. The two of them have coordinated to go into the shield, and suddenly there's a couple of fights happening, and it's 2 down on either team, Pat.
Yeah, we're still fighting for this mid as we are entering the final minute of the game. Tentacle Nuke still holding very strongly to mid and still trying to go in. I mean, that's what you want to do when you have a giant hammer ready to run at the opponent. Green getting a double with that hammer, and suddenly Tentacle Nuke, who already had so much control over mid, now have control over the whole map.
They do. That was a decent time for a wipeout, although a little bit too much time left to be fully confident. Jorvink do have time to recover that. It happened at about 40 seconds. We've got Witch on the flank trying to make something happen. They've lost another player here, so Witch really needs to get something on the Julies if they can, but suddenly they're 2 down, and it might be too late at this point anyway, and they've actually jumped back to spawn. I mean, at that point, you've just got to stay and fight. It was probably a done deal anyway, but they're going for the flank again. I don't think there's any time now for Jorvink to make a dent into Tentacle Nuke Inkbound's hold on mid. Green is still fighting in the mid area, but I think this one, unless we've missed something on the sides, Pat, I think this is going to be Tentacle Nuke Inkbound's game.
I mean, as you said, they chose the map, and they showed us why they chose this map. They knew how to take control on here. They knew how to get the edge on here, and that unrelenting aggression that they had, notably with Green, with the Viper, always going in, always trying to get a bit more. I guess Jorvink were not ready for that, and yeah, that's a very, very nice opening for Tentacle Nuke, and now it's on Jorvink to find their footing and choose the map.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that is at least the good point about losing a game in this format. Yep. You will just be picking the map, the next one. It's nice and simple to follow. It's just all counter picks, and even map one of the team's picks as well. So yeah, fun times. There's about 6 maps I think for each mode they can pick from, and as we mentioned, Mahi is one of them. Oh, and we are seeing Mahi. There you go. It wasn't game 1, but it didn't take too long.
I think it's the first time Mahi is not game number 1, so it had to be game number 2.
Yeah, we do see Mahi Resort in game 2. Yeah, understandable. I think Jorvink was one of the teams that I've seen does like this map, and I've seen them win on it before in Turf War as well. Yeah. So yeah, decent pick. They need to win 2 tough games in a row to kind of win the little Turf War mini set we have here at the start. And yeah, Tentacle Nuke Inkbound, I don't think we mentioned it, but they did finish runners-up in the summer tournament to Annakists. So, you know, they finished really strongly in the summer tournament. The summer tourney tends to be a bit less teams, because I think a lot of players are going away during the summer. The spring and the winter tournaments tend to be way more stacked, which may be why they finished 4th, because this season is very stacked. So, you know, the teams at the top, they all have known competitive players on them, and some of them are like top UK players as well. So so both these teams finishing 4th and 5th, like already doing a really good job here. These 2 teams, I feel like they're both, from what I've seen at least, like they're just very coordinated, both of these. And you know, you can have a top player on your team, but if you don't have much coordination, it might not actually get you all the way there. But whenever I've seen these 2 play, it's been a very impressive level of coordination. I kind of saw it there in game 1. You know, players were pairing up and doing things together, which is I think a big step in this game, because it's so fast paced. Sometimes you can kind of lose focus of teaming up.
It's what usually wins any tournament, including NSE, the ability of a team to coordinate. We've had great players being a university with no other players of their level and struggling to have like that coordination, which you rely on so much when you play Splatoon right now. And it looks like we were wrong, Conroe. Our streamer was anticipating a bit, but no, we're gonna go to Humpback Bump Track. So both teams very much throwing us curveballs and going to the turf wars, to the maps that we don't expect. And honestly, now that we're in the top cut of this league, going with something you know is going to be different is probably a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm a big fan of Humpback Turf War, to be honest. You know, I don't play much Turf War, but I just like what I am a bucket. I mean, besides that, besides the obvious point of me being a bucket player liking Humpback, I just like what it does in Turf War, because the whole outside is connected. So you know, you can just choose to basically go around the outside straight to the other team's area and start to paint their platform. And it just makes Turf War games a lot more fun, I feel, because, you know, and a lot more chaotic, because you'll have players doing that and you'll have other players trying to just hold mid as well. But it's a big task on this map to kind of watch the sides and make sure you're not letting any players through.
Yeah, it's the wideness of the map, and which means you always have an option, because even with 4 players, you can't cover all of the ground at the same time. You have to prioritize, which means your opponent always has an opportunity to get back in, to find their way back somewhere. Which once again brings us back to a team needs to coordinate if they want to defend properly on this map, if they want to take control, and very much you want to know with your teammates, do we go for mid or do we go around the circle to try to flank, to try to pinch our opponents?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it'll be interesting to see how these two teams combat that. I can't see too many comp changes coming out. I think Mr. Egg has honestly always used Reflux in Turf War because it is a good choice. You know, even at the top competitive level in the NA League, we quite often see the Reflux coming out because it is just that good. In Turf War, it paints so well and it gets out a lot of specials. Whatever special that is, I think some people like the missile, some people like the BR bomb. They can both work. No one likes the Reslider. I don't think I've seen the Reslider one played too much, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Jorvink Ducklings change anything. They did, of course, lose game 1, although it was close. I don't think it was really decided until that wipeout with about 40 seconds left. So you know, they can definitely still take this Turf mini set.
Yeah, it's certainly still possible, especially if they're going on their own map. One player they have to be very, very careful about is green. I mean, a Stamper on this map can deal a lot of damage because the way the map is modeled, the fact that you have these curvy hills, means that sometimes dodging the hammer is not always going to work for you, and you can get caught onto a ledge pretty fast. So I'd say pay attention to that wiper. A wiper is always dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely, I mean, game 1, green was definitely the player that we noticed hard pushing the other team's platform immediately, going for the early picks. And even though they weren't able to, they definitely distracted the Jorvink players for quite a long time, and it meant everyone else on their team could quite safely just come to mid. Yeah, so we're still waiting for game 2. I think there's going to be a substitution from the Jorvink side. I believe they're subbing someone out, which is why it's taking a little while to get into game 2. T-Cat for Charles. So yeah, Charles is going to come in and play instead of T-Cat for Jorvink Ducklings, which we see that quite a bit in NSE because a lot of these teams have, you know, more than 4 players. Most of them do. Some of them have like 10. You know, sometimes it's more about just kind of getting people to play the game a little bit, which is what's fun about tournaments like this. You have a mix of kind of comp and casual players all grouped around a university, so you've got that kind of group setting as well. Yeah, NSE, very fun.
And you want to play with your friends first and foremost. Like that's the best way to play this video game, is with people you enjoy speaking with, playing with, and having fun with. And right now I'm getting notified that our teams are ready. Let's get in a game number 2. Remember, if Tentacle Nuke wins this game, they get the first point of the best of 5. But Jorvink wants to keep that from happening, and it looks like a tent. Oh,
it does. Oh, we got two buckets, which I like. A different one on either team. So yeah, some changes. Tentacle Nuke Inbound have brought the Tri-Slosher Nouveau. And of course, every try is good on this map, and Nouveau is essentially their caller. Wait, actually, this means they have 2 callers, I believe, because that Rapid Pro has one as well. Ooh. And on the other side, we have Horn's Dreadringer, which is one of the new weapons. Basically, Dread paints a lot, and it has Crab Tank, which I think is a pretty good choice on this map in Turf War.
Oh yeah, and here comes the Crab Tank and the Zuka are deployed, but very far in. Jorvink struggling to go in. The vacuum almost did a lot of damage right there, but it was not enough, and now Jorvink completely unleashed. I'm very much using, as you were talking about, this map very well, going around everybody and taking lots of control. Meanwhile, Tentacle Nuke are kind of stuck in mid right now.
Yeah, they are, but they got a couple of picks just then, so they should be able to clean up a little bit and gain some control. I want to see Zayden Sarge's on the try taking that side, and they have gone over there eventually. Zayden's trying to get a pick on Yoshi, who pushed up a little bit on the ball point, and they did, yeah, I mean, they've got them kind of on their plat right now. nowhere near cooler Sargs. I think they just use the cooler actually. So they should be called up a lot. This team, because they have 2 of them, and it can be quite tough to deal with that in turf war when it's all just about pain, and you need people to be dead for a while to gain any ground. But if they're cooler, they're not going to be dead for very long.
Yeah, and right now we have Tentacle Nuke with numbers advantage and lots of control over mid. It's their side of the map that is not painted at all. Like, they have a chunk not painted, that could cause them, but right now it's danger on Jorvink. Jorvink still fighting in that street, trying to force their way in, as all of Tentacle Nuke are there for that fight, Conroe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Tentacle Nuke are aware of that. Maybe they're playing, just playing for mid, and they'll clean that up at the end. Yep. But they might not get a chance if Jorvink do come in and get the picks. Although they've lost 2 as this crab tank comes out, and TCAT's being pressured with the missiles as well. So that crab tank is not going to get too much. But everyone else on Jorvink has been able to regroup, and both teams lose 1 each. But Mr. Red gets a vital pick there on the Dread, and another one goes down as well. So it's 3 down again for Jorvink with about 45 seconds left. Very similar to game 1, and they don't have long left, Pat.
Yeah, great moves by Tentacle Nuke, really establishing themselves here in the last 30 seconds of the game. Jorvink massing themselves to the side, trying to get back into mid. They need to push, and they're doing the right thing. They're going all around, trying to find a way in. But they need to win their fights right now. Just 10 seconds left. There's still danger on Jorvink. Conroe, I think that's going to be the turf wars point going to Tentacle Nuke inbound.
It definitely is. I think in the last 20 seconds, I don't think a Tentacle Nuke inbound player got taken out at all. It was just constant picks on the side of Jorvink. They did try to go around the edge at the end, but again, I think one of them got splattered, and it was just Yoshi on the ball point who couldn't do much, and the Dread was by themselves in mid. Just desperately trying to make something happen. I mean, they were really up against it by then. But yeah, some good weapon changes on the side of Tentacle Nuke inbound. Some good decisions there. The double caller, definitely effective, and it means that they take the tough mini set. So in the overall set, they're 1-0 up.
Yeah, very nice. But that's only 1 point, 1-0 for Tentacle Nuke inbound, and we're going to see different teams. We're going to see different comps. You can quite often see teams awaken and play differently when you get away from turf wars. Right now at Jorvink, I don't think it's a matter of comp. I feel like they were struggling in every fight against Tentacle Nuke, and they need to find a way to coordinate the fights to have better. To play together a bit better if they want to address the fights that Tentacle Nuke are bringing to them.
Yeah, they definitely do. They need to figure out what they're going to do here as we go into the ranked modes. Rainmaker being the first one, and of course Rainmaker is kind of the most volatile ranked mode of the lot. So I mean, if I'm down at this point and I've lost both turf war sets, that's definitely the mode that I would most look forward to. We might be able to just change something, whether it's just trying some Rainmaker cheese or something. Because they already have quite an interesting comp here. They have Yoshi on the ballpoint backline, which we don't see too often. One of them has Inkvac, which we do see sometimes in Rainmaker. It's definitely one of the kind of cheese specials you can see in Rainmaker, because you just vacuum and then no one can shoot the Rainmaker, and then they just swim it forward.
Yeah, as you say, Rainmaker is the mode where you only need one push, where you only need to get that one big push. And we've seen Jorvink being able to win a fight or to get the pushes in. It's just a matter of, can they make that one push count? Can they make that one push be the thing that matters the most? And they have a choice of 6 maps to choose from. Humpback is on that list. I don't know if they want to get back on there, because you don't want to go back to the same map you just got beaten on.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if they're allowed to pick a map that's already been played in the set, whether they won or lost. That might not be allowed. I think that was a thing. So we might not see Humpback Rainmaker. There you go. We're not seeing Humpback. We are seeing Scorch Gorge. Oh, that's an interesting one. I can see it though. I do understand that pick on Scorch.
It's become one of the classic Rainmaker maps, and that's the case for a reason. You really have these long fights for mid that can linger on, that can make the game very, very tense, and then sometimes the pressure gets released, you get past the checkpoint and you score a lot and a lot of points very, very fast. So Jorvink needs to hold their checkpoint and get through the other ones. I mean, that's the case for most Rainmaker, but this one particularly, like that checkpoint is very much the point where the game changes.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, if you get the checkpoint and then you're able to set up after that, you could be in for, you know, a lot of points. And you know, you kind of want to get that checkpoint out of the way early if you can.
Yep.
You know, even if the other team's kind of already in the lead and you're just breaking the checkpoint. It's the same on a lot of maps because you can just get a quicker push next time because you don't have to worry about the checkpoint. You can just go straight past it. But we'll see what these teams bring to this one. I think there's another sub on Jorvink's side, but yeah, they've got a blaster now. They've got the ballpoint. Novak, they are staying with the inkjet, and Mr. Egg is back on the dread, the V dread for them, which is pretty much their main weapon. They are good on that.
Yeah, very good, very dangerous. Of course, you can always a rift slide onto the Rainmaker and crush their dreams. Right now, though, specials are being traded. Mr. Egg diving in, getting a splat before being splatted as well. Jorvink are still in that fight, but right now it's just Yoshi only able to get the jump in. The splashdown is gonna get rid of that. That's a delayed wipe for Tentacle Nuke, Conroe. Oh!
It was, but I don't know if that flingser just got two out of nowhere, but that does stop the push. And I mean, momentum is very quickly swinging the other way. I don't know what happened there. Maybe the flingser just did get two. Maybe they were weak to something, but it really looked like they were going to get the first checkpoint. But all of a sudden, it is Jorvink Ducklings coming back. They have lost the player. Unfortunately, they lost TCAT, but TCAT was able to put the bubble down. So that is going to at least slow down Tentacle Nuking down a little bit. They're not going to be able to come straight back in. Egg is definitely lining up a reef slide, and that gets two. And that, well, momentum's going to swing back the other way now.
Yep. I mean, that's Rainmaker for you. You cannot blink. Here comes the wipeout. This time, Tentacle Nuke are setting themselves in front of a checkpoint. They're sure to get it. And now they're painting around, preparing for pop. This is where the big points happen. And two down! Ooh!
The ultra stamp was out for so long, and I was like, they're going to throw it top right, they're going to throw it top right, and they took a while, but they got two with it, so it definitely worked for them. I mean, I'd expect them to have a few more points by now, though. They've lost two players, and they've only pushed the Rainmaker very slightly past the checkpoint, so I think Tentacle Nuke Inkbound by this point would want a little more. I think that Rainmaker is going to reset. Jorvink, I mean, they've not done too badly here, really. To give up only, what, 37 points? It definitely could have been more. But yeah, they're definitely not out of this one yet. Charles trying to do something with the flingser, trying to get them away from the plat. Gets a nice pick on Egg, who was trying to push up. They're a very aggressive dread player. They play that thing like it's a front line a lot of times, so don't be surprised to see that happen. Another pick comes out as well, and it's another chance for Jorvink Ducklings to make something happen. Tentacle Nuke Inkbound just losing players everywhere.
Yeah, right now, Jorvink able to retake some control over mid, and as you said, they limited the damage, which was so important for them. Now they got to break through Tentacle Nuke's defense. They got to get in there, and they need to get rid of Mr. Egg coming in with the Reef Slider, only going to get a trade. That's two down onto Tentacle Nuke, but Jorvink are still forced to wait for an opening.
They're trying to get in. TCAT's trying to do something with the blaster, but suddenly they've lost two players there. It's just Yoshi and the Zap player with them. The Tentacaller is ready, not Tentacaller. Tentacle Nuke Inkbound coming back in again, and two players down now for Jorvink Ducklings, who they've had some chances to push, but they've not quite got anywhere with this. We did say about that checkpoint. You know, Tentacle Nuke Inkbound don't have a big lead, but if that checkpoint for Jorvink doesn't get broken, I think they can be quite comfortable anyway, but they should get more points there, I feel like.
I mean, Tentacle Nuke back on the attack. That Reef Slider got a splat for Mr. Egg. Charles still to the side with that flings that Charles has been so important for the defense. But here comes another shot by the Rainmaker. 20 points remaining and still counting. Tentacle Nuke going to 18 right there. Jorvink Right now, just suffered a big blow. Earlier, that lead wasn't that big, and now, in the last minute, it's getting dire, Conroe.
It is. They Tentacle Nuke Inkbound weren't able to get a big push for a while there, but they finally get a big one down to 18 points, and it's much further than Jorvink Ducklings have got at all in this game. I mean, they've only got 2 points on the board. They've really struggled to get the Rainmaker anywhere. And again, TCAT has gone down, just trying to push up and make something happen. It's where they've really struggled to actually push up when they have the Rainmaker without kind of, getting taken out themselves. And it's pretty neutral right now. Charles is just trying to break it with the Rainmaker. All of Jorvink's players are here, but I think Tentacle Nuke's players are there as well, and they have 2 specials ready to go as well with the Splashdown and the Ultra Stamp, which will probably stop any push from happening. Missiles come out. Is anyone going to be able to capitalize? Probably not, Pat. I mean, Tentacle Nuke Inkbound look pretty comfortable at this point.
Pretty comfortable. They have Cooler. They have the Rainmaker in their hands. Just a few more seconds. Oh wait, no, it's Jorvink with the Rainmaker. I'm getting confused right now. Green has the hammer ready, but I mean, Jorvink has a lot of ground right there. Can Tentacle Nuke deny the checkpoint? Ooh, egg going in and sealing the deal as always. These Reef Sliders, Conroe, have absolutely crushed that Rainmaker.
They really did. I thought they were going to get caught in the main blast, but they had enough damage, and Mr. Egg just followed it up with one hit with the Dread, and that is enough to get the job done. Yeah, the Reef Slides were, I mean, we saw that several times in that game. It almost felt like exactly the same Reef Slider coming out. The Rainmaker was there on that right side, being held by Jorvink, and suddenly you've just got an inflatable shark driving towards you. There's one of them. There's one that got. There's one that got 2 of them. And yeah, I mean, it's such a dangerous special for that. I do think Reef Slide is quite a good special. It's easily kind of got away from sometimes, but just like the sudden pressure it can apply to a team, especially if your teammates can follow it up. But
we've really reached a point where if you're a good player with Reef Slider, if you know how to use the special properly, you can surprise your opponent, and then it becomes incredibly hard to dodge, especially if you're carrying the Rainmaker, which makes you so much more slower. And with a big target on your back right there, Tentacle Nuke Inkbound keeping the power on. They're now at 2-0 against Jorvink, and Jorvink, it's now time for their final counter pick. They cannot lose a game anymore.
Yeah, they can't. They have to win 3 games in a row here to take this set. Of course, it is double elimination, so even if they lose this one, they will still be in the tournament. But yeah, we're waiting for the Clan Blitz counter pick from them. And you can see some of their choices here. We can't play Scorch, but we can play Eeltail, which I don't think I've seen at all in this tournament. Clan Blitz Eeltail. No one's dared go there. Museum, Barnacle, Crableg, and Robo Ramen. Crableg I've definitely seen. Barnacle and Museum. I don't think I've seen Robo Ramen clans actually. So that might be an interesting one as well. I think they should pick Eeltail just for the fun of it. Just let's see that map one time.
We'll see what happens.
They're not going to pick it. Can't see it.
Honestly, Eeltail could be a pick for them. They have, I think it's a good map for Flingza, and that Flingza has been a key player for them. So that could be in like an actual choice for them. We'll see what they actually decide. Of course, still lots of possibilities, but whatever they choose, they know they not only need to win on their map, the map of their choice, then they need to find a way to beat Tentacle Nuke on their own turf, on their own ground, and that's going to be very, very rough right now. Jorvink needs to figure out something that allows them to bring the fight to Tentacle Nuke.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, we mentioned Eeltail as well. Sometimes it has kind of been a strat when you're down at this point, just to pick a map that's a little bit more offbeat. because the other team, if it's not seen in competitive very much, and I honestly can't remember the last time I saw Clamzilta. I'm just using Clamzilta as an example. So they're not familiar with it either. So I have seen some teams kind of go for that. I think we're just waiting on something from one of these two teams. So the counter pick hasn't been made yet. But we'll see what Jorvink picks here. They are 2-0 down, and they need to win 3 in a row against the runners-up from the summer tournament, who are looking to go all the way if they can this time. Runners-up from the summer in a much more stacked tournament. I think runners-up here would be way more impressive, but why not go for the win? They're a very good team, and they're very coordinated, so good bet.
I mean, it's always about winning the next game. It's always about making sure you can get the next W. And it looks like we're going to go on to Barnacle and Dime. I mean, it's always a solid map of Clan Blitz, and that's the other strategy you can have when you are at the point of the tournament where you don't know what to do against your opponent. You go to a solid classic map where you know you'll have a plan that can work.
Yeah, definitely. Barnacle, we've seen this one a few times this tournament. There's been a few very intense games here from what I remember as well. It's a very close map. I find, there's been a few games I've seen where each basket has only been broken once. I feel like Barnacle is quite tough to get in and sustain a push. Partly because there are so many directions the defending team can kind of come back in and stop you. But I feel like the biggest pushes only really happen when a team is wiped, or almost everyone gets taken out.
Yeah, it can be rough to get in, but if you manage to get your spot on the opponent's big block, that is opposite to the basket in the court, you can take control, deny re-entry for your opponent, and it's hard to get in, but once you're in, you can score a lot of points. And this also means it's a map where comebacks can happen. I've seen so many times a team get dominated, but get that one big push that allows them to put all the clams in the basket. Let's see if that happens. Who is going to take control? Who is going to get it right there on Barnacle and Dime?
Yes, as we go to Barnacle and Dime, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get into the game. Okay. Yeah. I know there was another sub on Jorvink coming out. I can't quite remember who it was. Was that a sploosh I saw there? It wasn't a sploosh. Sorry, I'm seeing things. It was a Dluga, actually.
Dlugas?
I'm mistaking a sploosh for a Dluga. They also have they also have a mini with Beacons and Zuka, and of course that mini can get a lot of Tri-Zukas. So it's a very kind of oppressive kind of mid-range weapon. It paints so much, and of course the beacon means this team can just keep jumping in. Not too many changes on Jorvink, and they go 2 down. They go 3 down. Tentacle and Ginkbound out to finish this early.
Wow. Well, that's a delayed wipe, and Tentacle Nuke have the clams to open the basket, and more to come as well with Uowawa to provide cover. They're past the 60-point mark. They're getting to 50 points remaining already. Monster openish push. We're not even 1 minute in, and Tentacle Nuke is halfway through a KO, and they keep that basket open. Mr. Egg getting in there. He's going to keep it, and that's 3 down on Jorvink. Tentacle Nuke. It looks like they're on a victory lap right now, Conroe.
It does look that way. I mean, it must have been the Rapid and the Mini there, maybe with the Tri-Zuka, just constantly getting the picks. I don't know where they were coming from, because Jorvink are only coming out of spawn here. The basket does close at least, but it's going to open again at some point. And Tentacle and Ginkbound are not letting up. Everyone is alive, and they have so many clams again. This could be a quick game. They don't have enough on them right now to finish it, but if they keep this pressure up, and the Zuka is out again, but they're not able to activate it. The Egg has a lot of clams on them. Are they going to get these all in? They go for a reef slide instead of throwing more in. But there they go. I mean, that's more time as well, but they don't have any clams. 2 players down. Which they get caught in the booyah bomb. Very well placed. 3 players down for Tentacle and Ginkbound though. And Jorvink, for the first time in this game, have a chance to get back into mid.
That was a monster opening by Tentacle Nuke. I mean, getting to 17 points remaining already. 2 super clams would give them the KO because they've had it in several pushes. And right now Jorvink needs to answer that, needs to find a way back in. They're already trying to push, and they're doing what they need to do. They're taking control, getting in the fights, but the fights are always end up being won by Tentacle Nuke. Tentacle Nuke pushing back into mid and punishing the jumps right now. T-Cat able to activate the bowler to slow things down, but I mean, we're back to a fight for mid.
Yeah, we are. Tika gets a nice pick there, though, although they do try and just overextend a little bit alone, and they get taken out for it. The BR bomb going on to Jorvink's side, not able to get anything, but it makes enough pressure. And again, Tentacle and Kingbound, they just know when to push forward with the special. So the BR bomb didn't get anyone, but they followed up and got the picks anyway. And again, they just have so many clams. They've got 20 clams now, and they do have 2 power clams, which would be enough to finish it. And I mean, they don't throw. Are they going to throw this power clam in? I don't know. They've got so many chances. There you go.
They couldn't because they were in bazooka. They were stuck in bazooka. They couldn't throw it.
Well, there you go. Be careful about when you activate specials, guys, okay? Because you cannot throw clams. But I think this is going to be it. And it is. They push all the way forward. That was a dominating Game 3 clam blitz, despite being Jorvink Ducklings' pick. And yeah, Tentacle and Ginkbound win this one 3-0. And they're going to go through to the winner semi-final.
We really saw Tentacle Nuke beat Inkbound start pretty strong and then get better and better throughout this. I mean, that last game, it really felt like Tentacle Nuke Inkbound changed their comp, adapted to what Jorvink was doing, and was playing better than they did in any other game. Was the last game where you'd expect the team that's losing to start to understand what's happening, but no, it was Tentacle Nuke simply securing victory, doing better and better, and in the end only being foiled by their own Zuka, forcing them to slow down before getting the KO.
Yeah, I mean, that was just very, I wouldn't say very quick, because it did take a while, but yeah, three pushes, I think 3 clan baskets open. They always had so many clans, you know, because you do get quite a big kind of punish, what's the word, penalty score to go through, but they just never had a problem doing that, really. So you know, that was the most convincing game of them all, I think. And yeah, Tentacle and Ginkbound proving to be one of the real contenders this year as they go into the winners semi-final. It is a 3-0 victory in this winners quarter-final. I think we are waiting for the winner semi-final. Will be casting is Annakists, who did win their winners quarter-final against either Solent Cardinals or Uowawa. We don't know what's going on with that game, but it will be the winner of that one versus Annakists up next. So yeah, I think we'll go to a break now, and we will see everyone back in a bit for the winner semi-final. Welcome back, everyone, to the NSE Splatoon UK University League with me, Conroe, and Pat. And we are about to go into the winners' semi-final now of this top 8 Division 1 between Annakists and Solent Cardinals. They both won their winners' quarterfinal fairly comfortably. I think Solent Cardinals was 3-1 and Annakists was 3-0. But these are the second and the third seed of the entire thing, Pat. They came second and third in the Swiss stage, so this should be a close one. And we already recognize some names here on the board.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of known names right there in the scene. Both Anarchist and Southern Cardinal bringing some of the best players in the UK ready to the fight. And honestly, they're also bringing good teams as well. You have several good players that know how to play together and are ready to fight for the title. Now, I believe we're going to start for Turf Wars, and that's going to be Robo Roman, our first one.
Yeah, I believe it is Turf War. Someone, one of the teams picked that. I think Anarchists, because they're the top seed going into this one. But yes, best of 5. Of course, game 1 is a best of 3 Turf War mini set, so we'll get a good idea of what these teams are going to bring here. The Reflux again on the Anarchist side. That is Snipes on that. Cool Clone on the Zap, Tame on the Splash. They've been playing more kind of frontline for Anarchists in this, and it's been working. They are a very good frontline player, and we see them in competitive as well. Wither, of course, on the Dapples on the other side. Yeah, they are very strong on the Dapples. See them just running in a lot, trying to get as many splats as they can. That was a hammer throw to begin this game from the Brush, and Solent Cardinals kind of taking mid here, Pat.
Yeah, Anarchists right now not yet able to really get control over the map right now, as Cardinals very much painting their side very thoroughly. That's good painting, Conroe.
That's what I like to see in Turf War. That's what you get taught day 1 of Splatoon 1. Just paint the spawn before you come out. And of course, it is the NZAP, so it means they've just got more Tactical, which is a very good special to have in any game mode. But yeah, it's pretty good in Turf War as well. So we haven't seen too many picks coming out. The Brush just sharking, waiting for some teammates and deciding to kind of back up and paint a little bit. I mean, I like it. Everyone seems to be playing for special, which is quite nice. You know, it keeps you alive for a lot longer, and it might get you some picks. So it's definitely a good idea. Some team fights finally coming out, but it's 3v3. No team really taking control yet.
Yeah, right now the Anarchists are kind of pushed away as Southern Cardinal still. Oh wait, no, we're still very much fighting for mid halfway through the game, Conroe, and we see both teams that have taken their time. Look at this map. Okay, there's a bit not painting on the side of the Cardinals, but the Anarchists just pristine teal everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they have, with the weapons that Anarchists have, I very much like to see at least one of those weapons doing that at the start of the game. They have 3 weapons that do that quite easily. Probably the Reflux doing it. Team fights coming out, and finally we get a bit of team advantage coming out. It could be a wipe, but all right, Mesmerizer, that is Snipes. Their in-game name is Mesmerizer, but that is Snipes. They clean up there. Effectively a wipeout, not quite, but pretty much next to the next best thing. And Snipes is trying to take out this Brush, which Swoops there on the Ink Brush, just trying to run everywhere, staying alive, distracting everyone on the other team. I mean, it distracted them. It distracted them, and they might be able to come back in from that.
Yeah, the rest of the Cardinals were able to come back in, and they came back in very strong, Conroe, right now. Cardinals almost getting a wipe. That's a delayed wipe. They're going to take lots of control over this map with 20 seconds left. Suddenly, the Anarchists need to fight to get back into mid, because, Wither going in with the Dapples is going to be splatted. The Hammer is going to find a splat, though. There he comes the answer. That final fight could decide a lot, and right now it's 2 down, 3 down on the Anarchists. Mesmerizer, aka Snipe, throws the final Booyah Bomb, but I don't think it's enough.
No, I mean, from the top view at least, it looks like that Solent Cardinals game. We might have to leave it to Judd. Yep, okay. Well, not too much in it, about 8%, but it definitely looked like Solent Cardinals map. And it was. And that was a real kind of, what would you call it, a ripple effect from that ink brush there. Because, they distracted their players for so long. 2 of them essentially had to drop down to deal with them. But it meant that the other Anarchist players one of them being snipes on a reflux, they can't fight too well. It means they're kind of the low.
Yeah.
So Solent Cardinals, despite the ink rush going down, they did actually end up getting a huge advantage from that, and they kept that until the end of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, getting that big advantage in the fight right before the end is so important in Turf Wars. And right there, we saw very much the power of an ink brush. The ink brush can be annoying, can force you to look the other way. And look at that dodge. That gave so much time to the Cardinals to get back into that fight and allow them to really take back that control. Beautiful play, a beautiful team play by the Solent Cardinal. But that's just game one. And until that final fight, Conroe, it was very, very close between these two teams.
Yeah, it was, and that should be how it is for the the rest of this game. Both of these teams, second and third in Swiss, they only lost 2 matches in the Swiss stage. They played 9 matches, so they won 7, and they lost 2. 2 of the strongest teams. Annakists actually won the summer edition of this. They beat Tentacle Nuke Bound in the final, so they're essentially going for 2 in a row. Everyone out to beat Portsmouth Paladins this season, because they're the ones that haven't lost a single match, and they seem to be doing very well. Beat Annakists 3-2 twice. So one of these 2 teams could possibly fight them in the winners final if they beat Tentacle Nuke Bound. But we are going to go to Humpback, and again, good. We see 2 buckets on the team, but it is the Slosher this time for both teams. Probably the best bucket in terms of competitive, at least. It's very good.
But one thing that preys onto buckets pretty often is rollers, because they have the same kind of firing mode, except they can kill you with one single shot. And right here we see the Dynamo from Cool Clone establishing themselves into mid with the help of snipes. Right now they're very much a lot of control, as there's fights everywhere. But Yoshi, able to get the splat with the Slosher, is going to be punished. But right now that's Spookster setting themselves in mid, trying to get control. Not gonna find luck with that hammer though.
No, not quite. And it is rhythm on the Slosher. We've definitely seen rhythm on that before when they are a decent Slosher. And the Dynamos, you said, a lot of Sloshers can struggle with it. If you're going to bring a Slosher to a Dynamo fight, Slosher's probably the best one. Any bucket. Slosher's probably the best one because it has a bomb. Dynamo is quite slow to move, so if you're able to throw the bomb at their feet, you might just get the pick that way. But this is what I like to see from a Humpback Turf game. People are just everywhere, just trying to paint as much as they can. There are people trying to play mid while Tame tries to flank on the other side, but they get taken out by Star Yoshi. I believe that's Yosho. I can't believe that 100%, but I think that's them. So they are on the top side. And again, it's very cagey pattern. Neither team's really kind of dominated at this point. Yeah,
right now it's very much a nice splat by Star Yoshi right there, as Annakists are trying to get back into mid. We're about to enter the last minute, and there's a lot of green on the map. The Cardinals have been in control of this Turf Wars. Tame activating the Crab Tank. That could change the tide of the game, as Annakists in the last minute are getting some numbers onto the map.
Yes, they are. Is this the turning point of the game? We're getting to an important time where, the picks kind of matter around that 30-minute mark. We're getting close. The caller comes out. Is anyone going to capitalize? Because they got taken out. Well, there's a lot of callers coming out. Actually, there's 2 right next to each other. So I'm expecting everyone on these teams to congregate around those callers. So many picks coming out. They're going to be back fast, though. So it's going to be all about these next couple of fights. Wither on the reef slide. They're going to get anything, and they get punished for it.
Lots of fights, lots happening. 20 seconds left as the strikes are coming, forcing Rhythm to move away right now. But the Annakists are getting their control. They're winning the fights right now, and Solent Cardinals are kind of pushed away. Spookster getting a trade with the hammer right there. That's a lot of pick, and it looks like we are going to a game number 3.
I think it definitely looks like we are. It looks like Annakists have taken that game, and they have 17% in it. Quite comfortable in the end. It was close until the last kind of 30 or 40 seconds, and they got the picks they needed. And it was too much for Solent Cardinals to come back from by then. But it is going to be game 3 in Turf War. Nice counter pick from Annakists. This
Yeah.
was, of course, their counter pick, and you know, with a Dynamo on their team, as we said, it got the job done for him here.
Yeah, Dynamo's so dangerous here, and Anarchist counterpicking well, knowing their strength, knowing how to fight their opponent, which means we're going to have an interesting match right now. Our two teams are 1-1, are fighting already for the turf wars, but now it's the Cardinals' turn to select the map, to decide which map will decide the point for the turf wars point.
Yeah, it is their pick for this one, and we'll have to see what they pick. It's sorry, is it certain Cardinals? Sorry, I'm losing track of everything already. This is bad. We're still early. We've still got a match after this. Yeah, Solent Cardinals picking map 3. It's essentially kind of, you know, those two games have cancelled each other out. So from this point, it is just a best of 5 set. True. But yeah, both these teams. I'm not actually sure if these two teams played each other in the Swiss stage of this. They might have done, of course. A lot of these teams play a lot of games, but even if they didn't, they'll be kind of quite familiar with each other. Just gonna look that up. Actually, did they play each other? No, they didn't play each other. Okay, they didn't play each other in the Swiss stage of this tournament at all. So again, we've kind of got a new matchup here, despite the fact that they came second and third. That, you know, they're new to each other, at least this season. They've been around a while, these two teams, though. So I'm sure they're familiar with each other from past seasons. But we are seeing Mahi. There you go. It's back. We do finally see Mahi result.
It took a game 3, but we're here. We're here finally. And yeah, I mean, these teams, they watch NSE. We know they pay attention, and they know what to expect from each other. There's some studying, and of course, I mean, these players have met also outside of NSE for other Splatoon tournament, because we are watching the teams that have competitive players that know each other quite well. And it looks like we're going to have our first backline of the set. I don't think it's going to be our last. But yeah, Cool Clone is going to bring a pencil.
Yeah, we finally see a sniper, aka a pencil. I think that's the first time we've seen it today. Even no one in the previous game used the pencil. But yeah, it is the most popular comp weapon. It has the backlines at least, and it has been for a long time. And it's definitely a decent pick here on Mahi. It can sit top mid and paint quite easily onto the other side. A lot of pressure, and of course it has Tactical. Snipes on the reflux once again. VR bomb aimed right at them, and that is a well-placed VR bomb, getting rid of the main painter on Anarchist's team. Again, though, some picks coming out on either team, neither side able to claim it, but it looks like Solent Cardinals really want to push that side, Pat.
Yeah, Solent Cardinals maintaining the pressure. There's going to be a lot of time before the water drops, which means that short, very close fight is going to happen. With going in with the Rift Slider is punished, but is still able to create a lot of chaos. Tame activating the Crab Tank to the side, but there's a Booyah Bomb. Tame jumping away. Very nice moves in a Crab, but River is going to the side. Oh, with a nice punish right there, and we're back to square number 1. Both teams looking at each other and trying to find a way in. Oh, yeah, we're still very much even right now.
Yeah, we are Anarchists. Slight player advantage for now. I gotta say, I love what Spookster is doing on this Ink Brush. They are. I mean, you want it from Ink Brush. Nice hammer throw from them as well. But they are just running around, and Anarchists are really struggling to aim at them. It is very difficult, of course, to hit. They get it done that time finally because 2 players were able to pair up. But I've often seen them doing that, and then another player on Solent Cardinals, Wither in this case, just comes and cleans up. You know, it's a very good distractive tool, the Ink Brush. So it's good to see them putting it to full use. There they are again, just running it straight in. Yeah. 3 of Anarchist players kind of drawn back into their plat almost.
You're forced to look at the brush every single time. Now in the last minute, and our 2 teams are still fighting for it, are still trying to establish themselves. Tame able to get one, almost two, thanks to that crab tank, and that allowed the rest of the Anarchists to take control over me. Now, with 30 seconds less, the Cardinals need to push in, need to get that ground back, but there's a huge pressure by all of the Anarchists in the right position, getting 2 splats as well. That could decide the game. 3 splats. The Anarchists, full controls, puts the last squid standing right there with the brush. That's a lot of yellow.
What? How did Spookster do that? What? Did they just got 3? They just got 3. I don't know if there's enough time, but that was a ridiculous end to the game. Is there enough time? They're frantically trying to paint. How did they? We saw a top-down view. Spookster was just running around, and they somehow got 3 picks. I don't know how. It's not enough, though.
Yeah.
Anarchists did too much just before that. They were just about able to hold on. 5 more seconds on the clock, I think, and it would have switched the other way. But Anarchists did enough to hold on, and they take the Turf War mini set in this match.
Yeah, throughout that last minute, the Anarchists were really able to build themselves some momentum, to have a lot of the map painted, which means even when the Cardinals were able to get the pop-ups, to get the splats, that was not enough. They were a bit too slow to come back to repaint everything, which means that's the Turf Wars, and that's point number 1 for the Southern Cardinals.
It is. Was it Southern Cardinals or was it Anarchists? I think Anarchists held on, right?
Oh no, the Anarchists. Yes.
Yeah, I always have to second guess myself as well. But yeah, Anarchists did hold on for the first point, so they do take Turf War as we go into Rainmaker, which does mean, of course, Southern Cardinals get to pick the Rainmaker map.
Yeah, that's actually, I think we're not going to Rainmaker. I think we're going to start with Splat Zones.
Sorry, it's a different round. It's a different round, my bad.
Yep, each round gets its own thing. So yeah, we're gonna go to Splat Zones to see how it goes, which is the mode, the competitive mode that competitive players have probably practiced the most. And we're gonna go on to Macro Map, very small map, a short map where you're going to have a lot of fights going.
Yeah, you are, and you said it's the mode that it's the mode for comp players. I'd say this is possibly the map as well. Definitely one of them. It's a very popular map here. We've seen both of these teams bring out a slosher, so I mean this is another map for a lot of buckets as well. They are good here, so might see those back. Fully expecting Spooksters to stay on the brush, and it's quite a good map for brushes as well because they have both alleys, you know, left and right side. They can very easily run around and just cause havoc. So you know, and it was Solent Cardinals' pick as well, this one. So they definitely have something in mind for this. It was a close turf set, mini set at the start of this. Let's see if it carries on into the comp modes as Tame goes back to the 52.
Yeah, right there. I mean, this is the map for fights, so bringing a 52 to the mix is going to help them be into more fights, survive more of this action, and already Spookster is splatted right there. Nice opening by the Anarchists who have the zone with Evo, getting the flanks, getting in and pushing everybody away. That's going to be the Cardinals setting themselves on the zone, while Tailm is behind everybody with the Gao waiting for a mistake. Ooh.
Yeah, trying over just about live the ink brush. I think one more shot from that, one more hit would have been it, but Tame does survive, and it's very important now because 2 players are down for Solent Cardinals. Lexical trying to keep it going, not quite, and they lose Spookster on the brush as well, so it's almost a wipe, and Anarchists have taken the zone here, and that clock is ticking down. They are soon going to take the lead. They have ink strikes ready from Rhythm, possibly going to use those aggressively. They might just hold on to the strikes as Solent Cardinals come back in. The reef slide on zone, I don't think that's going to catch them with her, but they are able to get away. They are able to get away.
Yeah, Anarchists right now kind of surrounded with River behind them, and the rest of the team all around. Spookster can go in with the Booyah Bomb, gets a trade right here as everybody's still fighting for the zone, but the Anarchists keep the zone. They keep scoring more and more points throughout all of these tiny points that they grab right there could help them a lot But right now, it's the Southern Cardinal getting everything, getting the whole map with a wipeout.
Yeah, definitely. Wither using the Reef Slide aggressively rather than going for zone, just using it on right stack. I love how chaotic Wither's playstyle is. I mean, it's a Dapple, so you would expect it, but their Reef Slides are just... They're not aimed at the zone or anything. They are just reef sliding at them, and you know, it's either going to get something or it's not. But I love to see it. Yoshi on the Stamper, just holding firm. I mean, they've taken the lead, Stolen Cardinals. They've done really well here to get the lead back. They've lost 2 players. They might lose this now to some triple link spikes from Rhythm. It's only Yoshi alive on the Stamper, and they are just going to back it all. Oh, here's Wither again. Here's the chaotic Wither. Oh! 2, I think, before getting taken down. But that is going to slow down Annakists.
Yeah, and that's the Cardinals getting back in control of the zone right there. But these moves by Wither, that Wither doesn't know fear, and even when Wither gets punished, that's enough. That's allowing the rest of the team to get back in. The Cardinals playing off of their aggro between the Dapples and the Brush. I love to see a team like that that really doesn't hesitate ever to go forward.
Yeah, I meant to say earlier, it's a very tough team to play against sometimes. You've got the Inkbrush and the Dapples. I mean, they're just going to be like, you know, in your face all the entire game. They're going to be flanking. They are just going to be super jumping in, the Dapples especially. And, you know, you really have to, like, decide what to go for, because you've probably got opponents behind you as well, and you really just have to, like, decide, do I deal with them, or do I just push forward, you know, for the objective and take the team fights up front? Wither again going in and getting a pick. Gets taken out by Snipes before they're able to get the reslide off, and I think the zone is going to flip the other way as Solent Cardinals lose too many players. Snipes is setting up on the right, and again it's on Solent Cardinals to come back in, but they definitely have the specials to easily take the zone back. They just have to stay alive.
Yeah. But right now there isn't much penalty left onto the Anarchists, who are trying to get back into the lead. Booyah Bomb! Oh wait, the Booyah Bomb isn't even needed! What a capture by the Cardinals, simply collapsing on the zone, painting it a mano. And yeah, I mean, oh wait, that's, I mean, the Anarchists are already back on top. These teams are going fast.
Yeah, they are. I think the Reef Slide got 2, and it looked like Yoshi kind of froze with the BR bomb. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'll throw this somewhere else now. But yeah, I think some of the Cardinals maybe tried to push up after claiming the zone, but they just lost the players. So Anarchists, good defense. They didn't lose the zone for too long. They do still have the penalty time to work through again. But yeah, Solent Cardinals, they really have to. Anarchists really have to get rid of Wither on this Dapples, and to be honest, Yoshi on the Stamper as well, because those are 2 specials. Having said that, they're very close to taking the lead now. Wither is 100% on the Reef Slide. Is it going to cap? It gets a kill. It doesn't cap. Can they follow up? I don't think they can. They've lost 2 players.
That's the lead for the Anarchists right now, with 3 players down. Only Yoshi left to defend, fight with the Stamper, but it's not enough. The Anarchists repainting the zone. Oh wait, no, the Cardinals keeping themselves alive, but they need a monster overtime now, as they still need to fight around the zone with them. Painting with the bucket is going to be splatted. It's not over, Conroe.
It isn't. They managed to cap the zone for an overtime push, and they win the following fight as well. Tame is just trying to shark behind the zone, waiting for the teammates to come back. Wither's got a Reef Slide ready. Surely they're going to use this on Tame here. Surely they're going to. Not sure what happened. It just froze in place. Wither goes down. They're so close to the lead. Oh, a couple of picks, and the strikes come out. It's just Spookster on the zone. The strikes. Get it done. There were 2 players in the way of those sloshes from Rhythm. Oh, devastating couple of losses there, because that was pretty much the game at that point. It was just the Inkbrush left alive for Solent Cardinals, and they're not going to hold the zone by themselves. But wow, what a game. That was so close.
What a game. Very much a close one once again. I mean, these 2 teams are giving us a show, are giving us so much each time, but at the end of the day, only one team can be on top, and right now it looks like the Anarchists are able to get the points.
Yeah, just about close again. I feel like every single game has been really close between these 2 teams, even all 3 Turf War games, you know, just a couple of picks going the other way, and the results in those could have been different as well. But Anarchists, they've just always clutched up, and they are now on the doorstep of the winners finals. Solent Cardinals, definitely don't count them out yet because we are seeing some good stuff from them. They've been very unfortunate not to take a point yet in this set. You know, they
Yeah.
definitely could have done it here, if not for that last huge double pick from Rhythm on the Slosher.
Yeah, right now, I mean, that still was very close. The Cardinals got that overtime going, got so close to it, and I mean, just 10 points to 6. That's just 4 points difference between the two teams. Just one splat, just one fight could have changed it all. But right now, Annakists are up 2-0 against the Solent Cardinal. And the Southern Cardinals, who've been so strong this season, suddenly are back to the wall and facing to go to lower bracket.
Yeah, they are, and I think they have picked their map, which will be Scorched Gorge, same one that we saw in Rainmaker for the first match we saw today. It's a very popular one.
Yeah, it's popular for a reason. You have a bit of everything for everybody. You have your ways back into mid. You have your ways to your big fight in the middle. You have your sniper nest that's allowing you to defend well, and of course you have your ways forward. Frontliners get their good fights as well. You know that better than me. And yeah, we'll see what these teams bring. I'm wondering if we know that the Cardinals have a good backliner. Is it the time to bring it, or do they stick to their guns?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like both of these players, you know, Yoshan and Snipes, historically at least, they're very well known for their backlines, but neither of them really bring it here, except for Rainmaker, where Snipes plays this weapon, which he is playing here. The weapon that just shreds the Rainmaker shield in pretty much one shot. There is the object shredder, so that's definitely something for Solent Cardinals to look out for. I wouldn't even bother going for the burst if I was them, because there you go. Snipes gets the burst within about 7 seconds of the game, and Tame is immediately trying to push up with the Gout as well. And there's Spookster on the brush, trying to run around, get something done. And the Ultra Stand, although Annakists have actually lost 2 players here, it's just Tame and Snipes now.
Yeah, and Wither is behind everybody. But Snipes doesn't care. Snipes is going to grab the Rainmaker, try to move in. Will be punished for it, but that was still a nice attempt. I mean, the Annakists are still in very dangerous position, forcing the Cardinals to wait to paint to the side before they can go in, as Wither is trying to go back. But at some point, Wither, they know, they can see you coming.
Yeah, they can, but I mean, it only has to work once, you know. As long as they go in and get the picks, it's Rainmaker. They only need to do it once, and then the way opens up for Solent Cardinals. Wither trying to do it again against the Zap player. Solent Cardinals holding on to the Rainmaker, just waiting for a push. Wither not able to get anything, and neither is Spookster, and suddenly it's just the Stamp who gets taken out by the burst, and this is surely going to be the first checkpoint, at least for the Anarchists, and it could be more, Pat.
Yeah, Anarchist opening strong right there, riding the momentum that they're built in the previous game, but they're going to get only to 55 with a cleaning up with the Zapples right there, as the Anarchists are pushed back, but Snipes is still to the side, getting the jumps in, fighting onwards, and I mean, Anarchists maintain a lot of presence on the map.
Yeah, they are. The strikes are coming out. The Rainmaker not out of its shield yet on Solent Cardinals side. BR Bomb spreads them out a little bit, but Anarchists are just going to hold position on the right. There's 3 of them there, and Tame is sharking on the other side near the left-hand checkpoint, or the other one on the camera. And Tame does get punished. The Rainmaker has been buzzed, and it's going to reset. Wither again, just trying to go around behind the back. The Reef Slide is actually going to run over the Zap player. It's a nice pick there. 2 players down for Anarchist. Are they going to get something from it this time?
Well, it looks like the Cardinals have the pop, have control over the Rainmaker, but are not able to push forward yet. Incredible defense by the Anarchists, really shutting down the frontliners before they can deal damage. And right now that Snipes is back in position with that World String to really take control of the area, the pressure that the Anarchists are able to put on is so impressive. Right now, the Cardinals have their work cut out for them as they're trying to go in, and Wither trying to run across the grades. That's not gonna work. They're looking for you, and right now, Annakists still waiting, simply waiting on their defensive position for the mistakes from the Cardinals.
Yeah, Withers really trying to get something done with the Dapples, but Anarchists have done a really good job of just shutting that down most of the time. Another nice pick from Rhythm as well on to Yoshel. Spookster on the brush, also trying to make something happen. They have the hammer, maybe. Oh, no, they threw it and it hit the cage at the top, so that's not going to get anything. Solar Cardinals, 2 players down again. I mean, Anarchists, they've got the lead, but they've only pushed it to 55, so this could change very quickly. It doesn't take much, although they won't if Snipes does all of that.
Snipes shutting things down, and I mean the Wellspring is so good for Rainmaker because A, it can pop the Rainmaker incredibly fast, pretty much instantly, but B, it can also defend very, very strongly. These 5 arrows are so annoying. You're constantly forced to dodge, and then of course there's a hammer coming straight into your face. But there's a hammer on both sides right now. Spookster trying to go in with that. Inkbrush is going to get a splat and is looking to get another. Will be punished with the last minute right now. And I mean, if the Cardinals were able to get the checkpoint, they could get the lead. All they need is one push.
Yeah, it only takes one, but they're just really struggling here. I'm not sure if it's a coordination issue. Maybe they're just trying to go in like just one at a time. And I know, you know, the Inkbrush and the Dapples both trying it, but they might not be doing it kind of together. They just don't have the players up. They're always losing players in this game, and they can't do anything. Again, it's just the Stamper Snipes with a try to jump in, but even on Dapples, they're not going to get away from that stamp, and it's looking dire now for Solent Cardinals. There's 10 seconds left.
Yeah, we are in the final seconds. The Rainmaker is to the side, and the Anarchists are throwing the strikes to make sure that nothing happens against them. That's a 3-0 for the Anarchists, and I mean, I did not expect back on where the Southern Cardinals were incredibly solid all of these games, but every single time the Anarchists pulled through and got the better of them.
Yeah, they did. I mean, based on what we saw from the previous games, I actually thought that might be a good pick for Solent Cardinals. You know, I'm not sure about the map, but Rainmaker definitely. You know, they have 2 very fast weapons at least on their team, and the Tactical helps, and of course Stamper as well isn't exactly a slow weapon. It can definitely get, you know, surprise picks from far away. But yeah, it's, I mean, pretty much like the last set. It just seems to be the most convincing game actually for the team that goes on to win the whole thing. But very impressive from Anarchists to just, I don't think either Spookster nor Wither really got in at all that game. The one time I saw Wither get to their platform, Anarchists were already running the Rainmaker towards the checkpoint. So I think they were able to stop them, but they just kind of got nothing for it. They had to reset after that. But yeah, it was a very good game for Anarchists. Just, you know, really good defensively, because I don't think they got that much of a push themselves either, but just because they were so good on defense, you know, they just won the game from that.
Yeah, very solid, very powerful on the side of the Anarchists. That's a 3-0 that qualifies them on to the upper bracket finals. Has to feel good. I mean, these players have had a bit of rivalry, having like top players, high level players, and they've played a lot of seasons. They even if they haven't played this season against each other, they've seen each other in the previous seasons, and yeah, there's been a lot between these two teams. Anarchist getting the W this time, I guess, getting a big W with 3-0, but yeah, we'll see more of the Southern Cardinals in the lower bracket as the Anarchists qualify for the winner of the finals.
Yeah, Anarchists does qualify for the winners final, where they will play against, we mentioned them briefly, the Portsmouth Paladins. Did come out on top against Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound. They're still undefeated. The winners final will actually be next week. I believe that's the
Yep.
first game we're going to see next week, and that will be the finale, that whole session. So we've got one more match coming up for you, which will be Tentacle Nuke Inkbound versus either the Portsmouth Palafins, who are a different team, there's Paladins and Palafins, or Uowawa. Whoever wins their losers round 1 set will go up against Tentacle Nuke Inkbound, and that will be the last game of the session tonight. So we'll go to a quick break, everyone, and we will see you back for that in a bit. Welcome back, everyone, to the NSE UK Splatoon University League with me, Conroe, and Pat. And we are about to have the final match of week 1 of the bracket stage, the top 8 stage. This is essentially the losers quarterfinal. We have 6 teams left in this tournament, and we're about to narrow it down to 4. One of these teams will be getting eliminated here. Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound, who we saw already tonight, versus Uowawa.
Yeah, and for once, these two teams have met during the group stage, Conroe. They met once, and it was pretty close, it was pretty tense, it was 3-2. So we can expect lots of fights incoming. There's a lot of line, of course, because that's their tournament life, that's their season life. But yeah, also a bit of score to settle for these two teams.
Yeah, for sure. Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound, they actually got one more win than Uowawa overall in the Swiss stage. They won 7 matches and Uowawa won 6. But Uowawa actually won 3-2 against Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound. So, you know, they're clearly very close together in ability. Uowawa, I think 2 of their losses were against Portsmouth Paladins and Solent Cardinals, 2 of the, you know, strongest teams this season. So could quite possibly be, you know, another close match here. Hopefully so. It is the last game of the night before we go into the finale of this tournament next week. But yeah, Turf War, and we are seeing Inkblot Art Academy again. I think Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound, they had the first pick in the first game we saw tonight, and they had the first pick again tonight, and they've picked the same one. And I think they did win here last time, from what I remember as well.
They did, and we've seen them be very strong going again on Inkblot Art Academy. We'll see if they're able to repeat that, but this time they're against Uowawa, very strong team that has done very well in past seasons as well. So we'll see if they're able to fight Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound for that spot in the low bracket semifinals.
Yeah, definitely. So we see a Horns Dread on the side of Uowawa. I think that's Kildy. Yeah, Kildy, I think, is pretty much a Dread main, so we will see them on that a lot. Very aggressive comp actually coming out from Uowawa. T-Tech, Splatter Shot, a Squeezer, a Roller, and a Horns Dread. You know, no backline. They've got plenty of paint, and I'd imagine the Roller very aggressive with that thing, and they're getting the picks already. Worth saying as well, Uowawa, they just have 4 players, and they do have quite a lot of history. They might be a kind of a team in competitive anyway. And this team did win Winter 24 and Spring 25 of this competition. Maybe different players. I know it's university, so some players might go in and out once they're finished. But Turf War, nice pick from Jason, who is in this game on the Rapid, I think that is. And yeah, Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound kind of holding mid for now, but we've got 2 minutes left. Plenty of time.
Yeah, right now it's still these two teams looking at each other, trying to find a way in. Green shut down before they can activate the hammer. That's going to allow Uowawa to go back forward onto the zone. The strikes trying to go in and able to get a splat onto the Rapid Blaster. Uowawa right now firmly established into mid. It's their turn to take control with the Roller. Oh, not able to get the splat, but still allowing the rest of the team to get some presence here. Oh, but they're surrounded now, and Tentacle Nuke is winning the next fight.
They are. Kildy's doing a pretty good job on that Dread, though, of just holding ground mid. Oh, and they've got a Stamp after them, but the Stamp doesn't quite get them. It was so close. Kildy's going to back up, though. They've been holding on to that Crab Tank for a long time. I think they're just waiting for the teammates to come back in. They live the Ultra Stamp, but they're going to have a fight now against Green. Green is so weak from that Dread. The Crab comes out just a little bit too late, I think, to get that pick. In fact, they've been splattered by someone there. So Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound, very aggressive. Green holding out for long enough, and they survive as well. So they live to paint even more on Uowawa's side. And Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound really are getting up in Uowawa's plat.
In that last minute, Uowawa needs to fight just to take back control of their own side of the map. They drop a bit too early. Egg is going to punish that with the reflux. And using a Roller in the middle of enemy ink is a bit harder. You can't really shark right now. Tentacle Nuke They keep so much pain control right now with 2 players down onto Uowawa going into the last 30 seconds. It's looking stronger and stronger for Tentacle Nuke.
It is. They really have control at this point. Kilde's Crab Tank just desperately trying to get something, but that actually gets broken before they could do much about it. They really need some picks in the next few seconds, or I think this one is over, because Tentacle and Nuke have all of mid here. They do lose a player, but the other team has lost 2, and the strikes, I'm not sure if they're going to do enough, because again, it's just down to Kilde on the Dread, and they get an Ultra Stamp to the face in the last couple of seconds of this one. And Tentacle Nuke inbound. They picked Inkblot twice tonight, and I think they've won it both times.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very strong throughout this season, throughout this tournament, even when they're facing one of these top teams of the NSE league. They're still able to show what they can do to dominate on this map at least. Now Uowawa certainly able to do a lot, and as you said, they had a very aggressive comp that did work for them on here. Now the big question is, do they switch up their game a little bit, and what kind of map do they bring on? I mean, they have a roller and a Dreadringer, and we've seen a lot of Humpback today. I feel like we could maybe go back there.
We have seen a lot of Humpback. I think we're actually going to go to Robo Ramen, though.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that was a very quick pick. I think the results screen was still going on when they let us know what their counter pick was. So, you know, I maybe would expect Humpback as well with their comp, but they clearly have a plan. I mean, they don't have any backlines, which may be why they're not staying. Why they don't want to go to Humpback, because you know, backlines there can be quite tricky to deal with if they are able to set up mid. It might be a little bit harder here on Robo Ramen. Not in a ranked mode, I would say. You know, snipers have a very easy place to sit, but when it's turf war and everyone can kind of, you know, go anywhere they want, maybe they're just trying to shut that down with the weapons they have. Kilde might want to stay on the Horns Dread if they're going here, because the Crab Tank is quite a good special here. You know, it can set up in decent positions. But who knows? I mean, they have a plan because they picked this so quickly. It's the quickest counter pick I've ever seen. So, yeah.
I feel like the one thing that Uowawa was struggling with is that they had their roller, and you want the roller to have a lot of paint on the ground so that they can be as effective as they could. And Uowawa wasn't painting the ground enough, where they were not enabling these sharking plays that make the rollers like that dangerous. And Tentacle Nuke maintaining that paint control made sure that one of the players on the side of Uowawa was kind of playing a bit worse, not able to really get as much as they want. And I just noticed that Kilde just copied the team tag from the enemy team, which is not confusing at all.
Yes, they did. Okay. Well, thankfully the colors sort out anyway, and I know that Kilde is a well player. But yeah, it's exactly what you said about the roller. They need the paint. They were streaming their previous game, and the archive, the roller had a really good last game. They got so many picks, and a lot of it was because of the paint. So yeah, you know, a lot of that is the roller just needs it to do anything, and it's a bit harder to coordinate in turf war because you can have players everywhere, and someone needs to be with the roller. But yeah, Uowawa have definitely shown they can do that in the past. So hopefully more of that here. The bomb not quite able to get anyone green again. Has the ultra stamp ready to go, but that is a very big pick from Viper, pushing up now onto the other team side to get some early momentum for Uowawa. Down 1 point in the turf war set, so they do need to win 2 games in a row. Archive trying to just gain some control mid, but they are being pressured back. Wisely backing up the roller, needs help from their team, and they lose the Dread as well. Not too many picks coming out, so you know, no team's taken really big control. Mr. Egg is doing what Reflux does at the start of the game, just painting mid and getting those missiles.
Need to paint for missiles right now, enabling the rest of the team to fight for mid. And it's working for Tentacle Nuke right there. They have control over mid, while trying to get back into that fight to contest as they can. The strikes are thrown in the middle to try to allow them to go in, but the Nautilus simply shutting things down, and nobody can go in. Kildy using the Rift Slider that is isolated. Boulder, the last squid for Uowawa, is sent back to spawn as well. It's non-stop splats from Tentacle Nuke inbound, Camera.
It is, and Jason, they're using the backline weapon, but I think they actually went forward and swam to the other side and threw the suction bomb against that wall that the squeezer was trying to sit behind. So that actually took out the squeezer. Yeah, well played from Jason with that one. But all of a sudden, Archive puts the bubble out in a very good position. They just lost track of Archive on the roller for a split second, and that's all it takes. They swim in, set up the bubble, and that could swing it around the other way. Of course, they did lose the roller there, but it's only a roller. That's not too much pain, and they have been able to switch this round, Pat.
Yeah, that's the power of a shocking move by the roller. But now we have another fight, and it looks like Tentacle Nuke are back on to mid right there. Archive getting only a trade. It's a wipeout on Uowawa with 25 seconds left. Uowawa needs to fight again, needs to go in again, get back into mid, and they're out of resources to go forward.
They do. They get a trade. Trades on the T-Tech, and they've lost the squeeze now as well. Kill these. Sneak slide doesn't come out. Very nice work from Tentacle Nuke Inbound at the end there to seal the deal against Uowawa in the Turf War mini set. That is 2-0 in Turf War, so that is 1-0 in the overall set. And that was pretty convincing by the end there.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. We saw Tentacle Nuke take control of these Turf Wars and very much being able to set themselves into mid to get control of the pace. It's not just that they played good Turf Wars, they played good Splatoon overall, winning the fights, getting control of the positions, defending their ground, painting around to make sure that they could not get shocked on too much. And yeah, they get the 1-0.
Yeah, they do. They do go 1-0 up in this set to go into the loser semi-final. Of course, the winner goes through into the top 4. And yeah, pretty convinced. I think that's like the only real convincing Turf War mini set we've seen tonight. I mean, both games were about over 20%, I think. Tentacle Nuke Inbound both times. Uowawa definitely had moments that game where it looked like they might come back in. That was a vital trade there from decided Tentacle Nuke, because it meant that was a full wipeout on Uowawa, and it meant Archive couldn't, set up somewhere and hide with the roller as Tentacle Nuke Inbound came back in. So yeah, good stuff from Tentacle Nuke. I feel like Uowawa might prefer the ranked modes with the comps they've been running, the roller especially. So we'll see what they bring to the first ranked mode. We're going to see. Of course, they did lose Turf War, so it is their decision for the map. I think it's tower control. Yeah, it is. It's tower control first for this round before splat zones. So is this the first time we've seen tower control tonight? I don't think we have. We've not seen it ever.
I think it might be, yeah. I mean, it was always around the back of the set. We get to see tower control. And another thing we seem to see is this time, Uowawa, they take their time to think. They take their time before they get the counter pick. They don't want to rush that decision. They know that now they're on the losing side, and they need to understand not just the map that they want to play on, but also the map that Tentacle Nuke doesn't want to go on.
Yeah, it is a big decision for them with the comp they're running. Assuming they don't have a big switch up, because not running a backline is something, of course it can work, but you really have to choose a map where a backline on the other team can't get set up. And Tentacle Nuke are running one, the Rapid Pro, which you do have to be careful about, especially if Jason's playing it. They are a competitive player on Tentacle Nuke Inkbound. They are going to go to Undertow for tower control, which I think I understand that decision from them for sure. It's a little bit tougher for a backline to set up. Or there's more places for the front lines to go to hide, for a roller especially.
Exactly. This is roller heaven. There's so many walls, ledges that are perfect to comp and appear out of nowhere and ruin your day in a single swing of the roller. This is what Uowawa wants to do, and this is the good map to get some momentum back. Now on tower control, this is a dangerous mode. This is the mode of snowballs, where if one team gets the advantage, start to get better special, they can get more ground, keep the tower, get more specials, and keep going over and over and over. So it is very much a question of who will be able to get that momentum going first and keep that momentum going further, Congo.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the other thing about Roller here, of course, is it does have Big Bubbler, which on tower control, on this map especially, it can be quite good just for getting through those difficult checkpoints on this map. Worth saying, Uowawa, well, they also have a Dread. I'm not sure which Dread Kildy might go for here, because Crab Tank might be a little bit more ideal here than Reef Slide, because it has a lot of range. You can kind of, when you're pushing tower, you can challenge their platform and just safely from tower, Crab Tank from there. They do have a Zuka, I'm assuming, as well from the Squeezer. So on Uowawa's side, they have plenty that can kind of pressure the other team's platform, because that's the main thing on Undertow Tower. You have to kind of push in front of tower and get control on their platform. Otherwise, it's very easy for them to kind of come back in, especially with the weapons they're using. Rapid Pro is just going to chip at tower if they let them with bomb as well. But they definitely have the tools to deal with it here.
Yeah, you can't allow a Rapid Pro to be on tower control in general, and especially on this map, where they have so many different places, angles to use right there. You need to rush that Rapid Pro and make sure that they can't get away with what they want to do. But let's get in the game. Remember, we're up 1-0 for Tentacle, Nuke, Inkbound.
Yes, we are 1-up as we go into the ranked modes. Uowawa have it all to do now. It's just, just one win to get it back to 1-1. Whether there's any changes there. I saw hold on. What, what are we seeing here? We're seeing double roller on the side of Uowawa. It's actually the other team, of course, Egg on the Dread. They also play Dread, but Kildy is switched off. They've gone for the Carbon with opening Gambit, so I'm assuming that's them that's pushed really far forward, and unfortunately, they get taken out.
They get taken out before they can get a splat. That's unfortunate. Tentacle Nuke already on the tower, trying to establish themselves, get some control. That first checkpoint is usually a formality, but getting it early could be nice. But right now, it's Uowawa getting back control of... Well, it's already... The fight is going the other way. 3 down on Uowawa, and Tentacle Nuke bringing the tower back to the checkpoint. And this time, there's nobody really to contest them, which means they're gonna get that first checkpoint, and thanks to that hammer, are already going to the second one. Ooh.
They are. I've got to say, I'm really not sure about this comp pick going with the double roller, because they've lost the Dread now, and that's so much paint. They're really going to struggle with the Rapid Pro and the Wiper. The Ultra Stamp. You've suddenly lost a lot. And they've got a 96, which doesn't paint too well. So T-Tech Splatshot is really the only one that can paint really well for Uowawa, and they've got 2 rollers, so they really need that paint. And it's kind of shown at this early stage that they are struggling. It's just the rollers up right now, and Kildy is alone, so they're going to get taken out. Archive is now struggling as well. I mean, Tentacle and Inkbound look very comfortable so far, and they're pushing for more points.
Every time the T-Tech gets splatted, it's Tentacle Nuke know that there's no paint on the other side, and all they need to do is tie up loose ends, isolate everybody, as they have everything going their way right now. We're past the final checkpoint. Everybody's standing on the tower. Jason is going to be splatted, though. Mr. Egg running on the tower. He's going to get the KO. That's a commending game for Tentacle Nuke Inkbound.
It really was. I don't know how Egg got on the tower there. It looked like the push was going to end. There was at least one Uowawa member right by the tower, but Egg just kind of swam past them and just got onto tower, and that was it. Yeah, Uowawa picking. They did pick this map, and they decided to bring an unconventional comp to it. I mean, they already are with no backline, but yeah, 2 rollers is not something you see very often, but it didn't really pay off for them. I saw Jason on the Rapid Pro near the start as well, before they really got a push going. They could just very comfortably sit on the left-hand snipe for Tentacle Nuke Inkbound, and no one was going to touch them in terms of range, and they very comfortably got a couple of picks that way. So Yeah. Oh, have they counterpicked already again? Oh wow, very quick with these counter picks. Is it Brine Water? I
Brian
think
Waller.
Brine
Yeah.
Water. Yeah, Brine Water zones. So yeah, nice quick decision again. Do they have a plan? I can't imagine they're going to stick with that comp. Surely Kildy
Oh
at least
no,
goes back to the Dread.
it's zones. Like you can justify sometimes not having much paint on tower control. On zones, it's the objective. You need the paint. You really can't do without. It's a requirement, and I think like it's important to try things, especially against a team that you know you can beat, a team that you know you can fight. And these two teams have been close before, so Uowawa trying to create the surprise there. Except Tentacle Nuke was not impressed. Tentacle Nuke was very much happy to fight that new comp that Uowawa tried. Uowawa either bring something else together or go back to your most solid comp. Because right now, Uowawa are playing for their tournament life, for their season life. This next game could be their last of the season, Conrad.
Yeah, it could be. They need to think of something to do against Tentacle Nuke Inbound. Evidently, Double Roller might not be it, but they probably know that now as well. I mean, we mentioned it at the start. These two teams did play in Swiss, and Uowawa won. It was very close, 3-2, but they did win the game. So they just need to think back to that game. What did they do? What did they do to win? And I mentioned I watched their game just before this, and they look very strong. They look very coordinated. So they just need to bring some of that back. But Zones Prime Water, Jason is on the pencil, of course, and Kildy is back on the Dread. So they have a lot more paint now. Dapples and Squeezer as well. So they've got plenty of aggression and plenty of paint. So they really need to take this game to Tentacle Nuke Inbound to stay on this one.
Yeah. And of course, the big danger on this map is going to be Jason with the Snipe Rider. On this map, you have that vantage point that's allowing you to do so much, and already Tentacle Nuke are taking control, are winning the fight. 3 down onto Uowawa, and the Dapples are forced to move back and keep their Reef Slider for later. There's 3 Reef Sliders on the map right now.
There is. Here comes one of them from there, already getting a pick before it, and they get a second one. They go down, but that's plenty of work for Tentacle Nuke Inbound, and we're rocking the double reslide for this one with the Dapples and the Dread, but it's not really working out for them right now. They're being pushed so far back into this little dead end. Oh, they try to use both reslides. I mean, they're going to get a couple. No, but actually, no, they're only going to get one. They're only going to get Jason. That is a wipeout. Tentacle Nuke Inbound just want to get this done and go home, because this could be the set right here. Kildy has to just paint the zone. They have reslide, but they're not able to get it out. That is going to be the game. There was one more chance for Kildy to at least pop the Reef Slide to see if it does it, but I think they just got chipped they got hit by both the Dread and the Rapid, I think, and they just got exploded. So so that is it. Wow, that was once again, as we've seen in every set tonight, a very quick game 3.
Yeah, and I mean, as we were talking about, the first time these two teams met, Uowawa won. And I guess Tentacle Nuke Inbound learned from their mistake, adapted, got better, and Uowawa tried to do things, tried to find the counter, but in the end, could not manage the pressure, the speed at which Tentacle Nuke Inbound ran at them. They're going to qualify for the second week of the final part of this season of NSE. But for now, Conroe, I believe we're going to go rest and prepare for next week.
Yeah, we definitely will. So that is it for part 1 of 2 of the top 8 bracket. The rest will be next week. Next week is the finale. I'm assuming we're starting with the winners final, which is Portsmouth Paladins versus Annakists, who already played each other twice this season, and they've played 10 games because both sets went to the final game. So that should be very exciting. Yeah, we're down to the final 4: Portsmouth Annakists, Tentacle Nuke Inbound, and one of the other 2 teams that are playing right now in the other set. But yeah, that is it for us tonight. So Pat, please tell everyone watching where they can find you on the internet.
Yeah. Right, that's my name. Oh, well, that's my name. Earlier, that was my blue sky. But yeah, that's the best way to find me. And Conbro, do you have something to plug?
Yeah, it is also on the screen right now. There you go. .bsky. And I do stream Splatoon sometimes on Twitch. On Twitch, I'm just Conro, CONRO. So you can find me there as well. But we will see everyone back here Monday. Start same time, about 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. if you are in the UK, 7 p.m. UK time. It's a UK tournament. But yeah, catch us for the finale next week of the Winter NSE tournament, guys. We will find out which of the top 4 is going to win this thing. So see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.